Welcome, Dominica. This is the Kairi TV News. I'm your presenter, Vanessa Bruno. Here are the top stories making the headlines. People empowerment tops the agenda for DLP's Roseau North hopeful Miriam Blanchard. A concession on barrels for Christmas has been approved effective December 18th. And the Electoral Reform Coalition has met with President Charles Savarin. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Thank you for staying with us. Topping the news, early childhood education to be made free for children aged 2 to 5 years. Leader of the Dominica Labour Party, Roosevelt Siscaret, made that announcement during the launching of the DLP's Roseau North candidate, Miriam Blanchard, on Wednesday. Mr. Siscaret told the gathering that education has ranked high on the DLP-led government's agenda for several years.
We understand the importance of education at all levels. And so, in the new term, ladies and gentlemen, though we have made great progress in ensuring that every child has access to early childhood, preschool education, there are still some who are falling through the cracks. And we are saying to the children, to the parents of children between 2 and 5 years, every one of you will have access to early childhood and preschool education in Dominica, paid for by the government of Dominica. Because this is the formative years, the formative period of children. And it's important that they get a good head start. And we're focusing heavily on this, ladies and gentlemen.
On the issue of skills developing among youth, Mr. Scarrett reassured the public that the new Goodwill Secondary School will have a more strong focus on the vocational aspect of education.
I want to say to you in Roseau North that the only challenge we had with the Goodwill Secondary School is that the land was too small. The space is too small because we wanted to build even a bigger school. As a matter of fact, when the Chinese engineering firm designed the school, it ended up half of the playing field. And we had to condense it. But it will be an edifice. It will be a building that all of us will be proud of. And one of the aspects of that school we are highlighting heavily is the technical vocational wing of the Goodwill Secondary School. Because in the new term of this Labour Party government, we'll be focusing heavily on skills development in Dominica.
In other top stories, Dominica to host another technical consultation for joint sustainable development goals. Here is Nathaniel Durand with more.
The Technical Consultation for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals SDG Fund Joint Program, Resilient Livelihoods and Food Security Through Data, Digitalization and Sectoral Linkages is scheduled for Monday 28th November 2022 at the Fort Young Hotel. During the consultation, the stakeholders will discuss ways to build the resilience of farmers, fisherfolk and vulnerable people. System and institutional capacity improvement of the agriculture and the social protection sectors will also get the spotlight as participants learn about these aspects in a risk-informed manner. How these sectors are linked and their alignment with government's ongoing and or planned projects or initiatives will be discussed during the consultation. The joint program aims to contribute to resilient livelihoods and food security through data, digitalization, and sectoral linkages. The two-year program will draw on the power of data, information systems, and sectoral linkages to mitigate the effects of climate change and related shocks at the household, community, and the national levels. This program will also promote and protect food security and livelihoods, and strengthen resilience in a gender-responsive manner. Nathaniel Durand, Kairi TV News.
Returning to the political scene, the Electoral Reform Coalition has met with President of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Savrin. Linda Martin has the details.
The meeting took place on Monday with the aim of discussing the recent political situation in Dominica. Among the agenda items discussed was the call for electoral reform in view of the upcoming elections on December 6, 2022. This is part of the opposition party's efforts to voice their concerns regarding Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt's decision to announce snap elections just 3 years into the DLP's term in office. According to a release from the ERC, during their meeting with the president, the coalition implored His Excellency to seriously consider postponing the general elections until such time that the necessary electoral reforms were enacted. The Office of the President also released a statement noting the ERC's concerns and the President's response to their request. According to the President's statement, during the 2-hour meeting, the ERC expressed their political concerns and voiced possible solutions and interventions to be carried out by the President. In his response, the President explained his position in the matter and expressed his expectation that the electoral reform process will be carried out by the elected government to include holding consultations with relevant stakeholders. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
You're watching the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back to the Kairi TV News. Empowering People takes the spotlight for DLP's Roseau North candidate. During her launching on Wednesday, the Labour Party candidate for the Roseau North constituency, Miriam Blanchard, said people empowerment is the hallmark of a dynamic progressive government. She plans to place a special emphasis on single mothers and young men in an effort to improve income generation in that constituency.
I will address the issues that matter most to you. Top on my agenda is the empowerment of young men and single mothers. You will have access to skills training and resources to equip you to enter the workforce and learn a new trade so you can be self-employed. A resource center to serve Roseau North will give our youths the space to develop their abilities and discover new purpose away from the block culture.
Blanchard assured the public that she has development plans for other categories of people within the constituency.
We will also launch a mentorship program to help mold our high school students into respectable members of our society who can be a credit to their communities and country. We will ensure that our elderly who are in need and who qualify continue to receive assistance under government programs such as the Yes We Care. Scholarship opportunities will remain available to your children in Roseau North to fulfill their vision of one university graduate in every household. My Labour family, I know that adequate housing is a great concern in many parts of our constituency. You can be assured that I will hit the ground running on this. My goal is to continue the housing interventions of this government and transform our communities.
And authorities have approved the granting of concessions on Christmas barrels imported into Dominica. This concession will be for the period December 18, 2022 to January 17, 2023. Barrels valued up to EC $1,500 shall be exempt from import duty and customs service charge. Each household in Dominica shall be entitled to a maximum of 2 barrels. Boxes, drums, crates, and cartons of equivalent size to a regular barrel will also be eligible. Barrels shall be for personal use only and not for commercial use. Eligible items shall be foodstuff with limited items of clothing, toiletries, and toys. The recipients of barrels shall be required to pay a flat service charge of $10 to the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority for charges related to handling and storing of the barrels. You're watching the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines once again. People empowerment tops the agenda for DLP's Roseau North hopeful Miriam Blanchard. A concession on barrels for Christmas has been approved effective December 18th. And the Electoral Reform Coalition has met with President Charles Savarin. Tune into 107.9, 93.1, 91.1, and 88.7 FM Monday to Friday to catch our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. Go to Kairi TV on Flow Channel 953 to watch our TV newscasts Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/KairiFM. Check us out on Instagram at KairiFM and follow us on Twitter at KairiFM Dominica. Feel free to visit our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Vanessa Bruno. Thank you for watching.